And here we are.
I think so.
And here we are. And here.
I think so.
I'm seeing.
Let me see. Did the alert go through?
What?
Let me see.
I just clicked something. I went on Busta Rhymes. How does that even happen?
Yes, we're live.
Oh, we're in.
And
we're in.
again, it says Super Ugly Show, episode 233 live.
Oh, my God.
So I assure you this is not super. I did everything. You even saw the thumbnail was there.
Are we on right now?
Yeah, we're on. And it says Super Ugly Show,
Hold
episode
on.
233. This is ridiculous.
Mine is showing my picture of us still.
No, I know, but when you go to it,
Oh.
it says Super Ugly Show, episode 2. And now the thumbnail is now back to Super Ugly Show. Everything was there prior to this. You saw that, right?
It was. I'm a little confused right now. I'm looking at it.
It's YouTube. They fucked us all with this new stupid studio.
I see how I did it now.
No, even in the...
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
This is fucking ridiculous.
All right. Well, you know what, guys? Just so that you know, we are in Unfiltered Marriage. It just happens to be a different thumbnail, whatever. It's just a picture. We're here. Of course, we got Katie. I'm super stoked. She's made it.
Yeah.
My other bestie is doing something important, so she could not make it here today.
You want me to go right into this?
Just go ahead, because you know what? You feel like you're on it. Go.
I mean, you said to start.
No, I want you to go.
Yeah.
Go.
All right. So the Academy Awards have set a new inclusion requirements for the Oscars that will take effect in 2024. This is in regards to Best Picture, and the following guidelines of your film now: at least one of the lead actors or significant supporting actors from an underrepresented racial or ethnic group, meaning Asian, Hispanic, Black, Indigenous, Native American, Middle Eastern, yada, yada, yada. The general ensemble cast must at least 30% of all actors in secondary or more minor roles must be two of the following underrepresented groups: women, race, gay, or people with physical disabilities. The main storyline or subject matter must also have those requirements. This is the dumbest fucking thing. Like, are we just hand out the awards just to other groups for no reason?
It's
because now
trophies.
Yes, this is participation. You're forcing people now and telling them what they must do to make their movie.
I don't think that's fair
So
all.
American History X out. Saving Private Ryan, former Best Picture winner, out. Gladiator, out. Braveheart, out.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Movies like that will no longer be eligible,
Well,
even though they're time period pieces.
Braveheart, you might be able to get away with because they are technically indigenous to that area. So
Yes.
that might be, because what are you considering indigenous at that point?
But Saving
Plus, throw
Private
a couple
Ryan.
women in there, and you're saying that counts as a minority.
I
So
guess,
that's
yeah,
gonna
apparently.
That's going to be how they slide it in.
But
it's going to be a woman.
But again, Saving Private Ryan. How can a movie like
you're
that
screwed.
now?
You're fucked. You're
Okay,
fucked.
let's say what else? I just had one and it fucking just popped out of my head. Fuck. Either way, this is Shawshank Redemption. There's one black guy in the movie,
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman.
But he's an important character.
He is, but they said 30%.
30% of what, though? Not like the whole.
I think that. Well, I mean, the
ensemble. Are they
guidelines.
talking
It
about-
should be the
No,
picture
at
in
least
general.
one.
Why does it have to have
At least
guidelines
one lead
now?
actor or significant supporting actor must be
So
represented.
then Shawshank would be fine because Morgan Freeman would be.
Yes, but these other rules I think also have to be followed as well.
So it's not just.
I think that like all these guidelines now have to be met for you to be a Best Picture nominee.
I can't even believe that they would be able to do that, being that it's supposed to be by people's choice. Can't it be what we like?
You know what they did? They just killed the Oscars because now people are going to be like they mean
It's
nothing.
super politicized
You're
now.
forcing people now to change their movies or include something that may or may not.
go with
it doesn't
What
make
the
any
hell is
sense.
that? I don't understand. I'm being honest. I feel like a lot of life, everybody's lives turned into now everybody's business, where they're going, well, if you don't feel this way, you can't play. It's like, I think that it's really hard for people to stand out and say, well, I think that's bullshit.
Well,
I think
it's hard
it's
for
bullshit.
people to have opinions now at this point because the second you have an opinion that doesn't agree with somebody else, well, you're wrong and you're an asshole.
And you get attacked.
And then you're either racist, you have a problem with a certain group of people, like, and it's just no, I just don't agree with you.
Yeah.
Right? Why can't I
just
just
don't
not
agree.
agree
Yeah.
with
I just
you
don't agree.
But
and
that's
your
not the
point of
world
view?
we live in, because if you don't agree with Black Lives Matter, racist.
Right.
Listen, I've learned
If you don't agree with LGBTQ,
I'm not allowed to have opinions on certain things.
You hate gays, you hate trans. If you don't agree with anything, it's if you don't agree with women's activists on everything they say, you hate women.
Yes.
It's insane.
It's a lot of putting everything into a bowl, and that's just not how people work. Human beings in general, we all have the right to have our own opinions, and I may not agree with a lot of things going
it's still
on.
your opinion.
But it is still my opinion. Now, taking away people's choice, now you have to believe this or this. You got to do this or this. If you can't say the movie doesn't have what you want it now because you have guidelines, people who would have voted for that movie cannot vote for that movie because it didn't have one thing you needed.
It's not
in
even
it.
going to be applicable.
This is a
for it
slippery
anymore.
slope in general because now it's okay. We caved into this now, right?
Right.
Now we caved into this. So what's the next thing that
They're-
people are going to go? Well, now you caved into them. What about us?
They're trying to make a Kids Bop version out of everything.
Yeah.
These
Yes.
days.
like
Yes.
midgets. Like midgets. Well, we're not represented enough in these movies. Where are we?
See,
You're
but
like,
this is what
What
the
do you-
thing is about movies. They're not supposed to be based on real life. They're fantasies. Some person created this universe and this reality. It's
Yeah,
not going
but the ones that are really
actively depict what's real.
Well, yeah, but like Braveheart or like well, let me ask you,
Saving
will
Private
Dances
Ryan.
with the Wolves be in it?
well, they have Indians, Native Americans,
What about we cannot forget about that.
but they have Native Americans.
but
They're
wait,
represented.
Here's the question then too: does it have to be the actors have to represent that, or the character have to represent it? Because what if you have
These rules are
someone that's light skinned
Yeah.
Playing a
someone
part.
that's not?
Well, no, you can't have anybody play a part that they're not actually are.
But that's
like
what I'm
everyone was mad at
saying.
Shia LaBeouf for playing a Hispanic person in his newest movie,
Right.
But because God forbid,
What
you
about
know,
Tropic Thunder?
But,
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Does it have to be the actor
Yeah.
themselves that has to be?
That-
yes,
is
yes,
that,
no, it
or
can't be
is
the
it
character. No,
character?
the actors.
The actors have
because
to
we have
have-
to now have everybody has to be able to participate no matter what. So we're gonna make special rules to make sure everybody gets to play.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna be Pamela Anderson in the next biopic. Okay, can we
Yes.
be clear on that?
Yes.
There you go.
Because
Yes.
otherwise, I'm not included
There
anymore.
you go.
That's insane.
It is
Why are there so many just pretty women in Hollywood? You know, get rid of all pretty women. I just want to see ugly women in Hollywood from now on. There should be no representation of pretty women because there's too many pretty
And
women
it makes
in
people
Hollywood.
feel bad about themselves.
Yes. Like, this is fucking... this whole sensitivity shit has gotten way out of control.
definitely has.
And this might be the straw that breaks the camel's back.
I don't know because they're pretty liberal out there.
No, yeah, they are. But the rest of us have had enough to the point where we're like, when are we all just going to start pushing back? Like, think about, like I always bring up Dice. All right, Dice in 1988 and 1989 was the largest thing on the planet. He was gigantic. If Dice was to come out today,
Oh, forget it. He wouldn't survive 5 minutes.
nope, one person would see his act and be like, "This guy cannot live. He must die.
He was
Yeah.
He
great.
must
Oh.
die."
Well, you know, this is really great. We started here because I want to roll into something else. I recently had a small disagreement with somebody, and the disagreement was on school and sending Valentina to kindergarten or not sending her to kindergarten. And, you know, there is no argument on my end because it's a decision I made with my husband that I'd rather her have a full school experience come next September, and we'll do at-home school learning this year.
Right, and it's just kindergarten. So I
So
mean,
the person pushed the fact that the socialization is needed. And I said, what socialization now? There is no lunchroom. There is no gym class. They're sitting at a desk with fucking 3 walls around them. The teacher has to be on an iPad teaching children and teaching them in the classroom. It's kindergarten. It's not like it's 4th, 5th grade. My son's in school. My daughter is in college. But my youngest, she went half a year preschool and they shut down. And now I'm going to send her off with a mask on a bus. I'm sorry. But that's what bus windows are for. And that's supposed to be one of the most social things you have part of your day at school.
Is the bus.
Is making friends, sitting on the bus. And I felt it was wrong for me, my decision. And this person, I'm not kidding, was like, you know, maybe you might have to find a group for her to join. You got to do something. I mean, because keeping her home would be very good for her development. I'm like, first of all, my daughter writes her name. She's more social than most 5-year-olds. She can clip her own buckle. She wipes her own ass. I think she's all right. You know, but I felt at a moment judged because I wouldn't push her into that environment.
it's only kindergarten.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other ways to socialize kids without it being school.
Right. Well, we're
So-
thinking about gymnastics and stuff too, but
Gymnastics, dance class, like
and-
whatever.
And
There
she
are
has
other
plenty
ways.
of friends. She's on Snapchat right now, video playing Roblox.
So she's fine.
It's
It's, not
just-
like she's in 12th grade.
It's not
and
like we're
she's-
shut-ins. We have a bunch of people that have children that she
Right.
plays with almost. There's not a week that goes by where I don't have 3 different fucking
So it's
kids
not
that's
like
sleeping
she's
at my
not
house.
socializing. She's still socializing, just not in the way this person is
Feels
pushing
it
you
should
to
be
do
right.
it.
And
it's kindergarten. It's kindergarten. At the end of the day, it's
which is not a
kindergarten.
New York requirement. However, I do want her to do kindergarten. So what if she's a half a year older than everybody else? Who cares?
But a lot of kids are going to be like that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of parents feel that way
Yep.
at this point.
right.
This year, I have a feeling a lot of kids will be the same age as her when it comes to kindergarten next year because a lot of parents are doing what we're doing.
100%.
They're not going to subject their kids to this fucking militant,
It is. It's like boarding
Nazi-like
school.
fucking.
Well, that
yeah.
and even if you have the ability to stay home with them and do the Zoom or whatever it is that the alternative is, and you want to do it, by all means, go
Right.
forth and be merry. It's harder for the parents that both parents are leaving the house during the day
To work.
and they have to send them to school.
Right.
Whereas you're lucky enough to be able to choose and be like, well, I'd like to
I
keep
am
her
lucky. I am
home.
lucky, and I love that I have the option to
Yeah.
do what I'm going to do. And we have many teachers in our family, so we're going to be set.
you're gonna
It's
be
just,
fine.
It's just at that moment as I'm talking, and I'm freely just like, and I'm excited for her for next year when things are and when is normal. What is normal? How do you know it's going to be
Well,
normal?
then
And
you
I'm like,
address
hi,
it next
fucking
year.
brown cloud hanging over me. It's like fucking seriously getting rained on. Come on, I felt again that the option to have my own feelings and opinion was like immediately shut down, and I don't understand why this is the way that
Because
it
there's
is.
two sides, just like everything in the world right now. There's the sides of the militant people that are, all, hey, wear your mask, you're gonna hurt somebody, and then there's the side of, no, this is all bullshit. And I'm a lot more now on the side of this is all bullshit. And like, I just saw a number: 25,000 college students have been tested positive for COVID. You know how many hospitalizations there were?
How many?
0.
You know what's crazy to me?
0.
Everyone gets so up in arms about this mask thing. I argued with my mother about it. I'm like, listen, you have to wear a mask for 10 minutes. If you're telling me there's the tiniest chance that'll help somebody else, I'll throw a mask on. When I'm in
Right.
a store, walking through a restaurant, whatever it is.
Right.
It's not the end of the world. It's not that much of an inconvenience.
Right.
It's not like you're
However,
telling me
I
I
don't
have
wanna
to
be
wear
sitting
it
on my
all
porch with
day,
one
every day.
on.
Correct. But if
Yeah.
you're telling me to go into a store and go shopping, throw a mask on. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. You're not telling me I have to like staple it to my face
No,
for 24
no, but for a 5-year-old, I
hours.
feel like it's a little excessive, and
It's hard.
it is going to be difficult.
I think now, where we're at now with this whole COVID thing, the stores need to back up a little bit with you must wear a mask. If you want to, wear it. If you don't, don't.
Well,
Well,
see,
you know
that's
what
the
the
thing. If
problem
someone's
is,
wearing
though?
it and they're protecting themselves from us, why
Right.
do we have to wear
Yeah.
it?
Well, the problem also is a lot of people, they were like, I don't want to wear a mask. Fuck you. We can be trusted. Okay, then you need to back the fuck up. I was in 7-Eleven the other day. There's the little circles, and I'm standing on my circle, and this guy's right behind me, breathing down my
Yeah.
neck. I go to the next circle. He's still up my
But let me
ass.
ask you then. But you're wearing your mask,
Right.
So you're fine.
No, correct. But do you, even
No,
pre-corona,
yeah,
I don't want
personal
someone-
space.
yeah,
I get that.
yeah,
I get
yeah.
that. But we're
Personal
talking about the
space.
mask thing right now.
Right.
So like, and this whole thing, we're very slowly learning this has been a bullshit thing.
Yeah.
We've had things like in the 60s, there was something very similar to this. They still did Woodstock in 69.
Yeah.
They still think the economy didn't shut down.
But
Cities
that's
didn't
because
shut
alcohol
down.
kills everything.
No,
that's
but-
why everyone
but
survived.
This was
that.
this was all a political ploy. That's all this was.
distraction.
It was a distraction. It was a political ploy, and it was a division mechanism
It
to
was.
divide everybody. And then the whole George Floyd thing happened, which they were like, yes, even more division. And they were every politician started creaming themselves, and that's all this
Cream.
was. If this wasn't an election year, I guarantee
Well, we had
you
3 years of not much going on.
I guarantee you
Everyone's
$1,000,000%
that.
we would not be in the situation we are right now.
Drinking that pretty
If
fast.
there wasn't a presidential vote, we would not. We had
There's
swine flu.
always something.
We had
anthrax.
Yes.
That one year.
Yeah, but anthrax is a chemical. That's different.
Yeah, but it was still.
But swine flu, we didn't shut down like this
It's
for swine
SARS.
flu.
It's SARS.
Yeah, we didn't shut down for that.
At the end of the day, if you're going to tell me to wear a mask, I'll wear a mask. I'm going to be honest.
Right.
When I'm at work and I'm sitting in my area, as long as I'm by myself, I definitely take it off.
Skype is working.
So,
There has to.
but if I get up and I walk around the office, I put it back on.
It's part of respecting everybody else's wishes. I get it with the
Right.
rules and regulations right now. I just feel like for children, it's really pushing. It's really pushing the teachers who have to wear one all day. Now, this is one question I had within. I had two doctors that are friends of mine that discussed it with me also. Nobody knows the damage that is happening to you. Just answer it. It stops ringing. Hold on a second. I'll introduce you in a second. nobody knows the damage that's actually happening to yourself by breathing in your own exhale, your own stuff that you're supposed to be getting out of your body. Now you're sucking it back in, and so now we don't know. 10 years from now, they say, you know what? If you wore a mask this long, you're giving yourself lung cancer, or there's other things to think of that I go, why can't we just choose?
Yeah.
We want to wear it or we don't, like smoking a cigarette.
Well, that's the thing. Like
exactly.
the cigarettes I smoke are way worse than wearing this mask.
I'll take
Right.
the risk.
Like-
If I don't want to wear the mask, I'll take the risk.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
like exactly just what she said. You buy a pack of cigarettes, you know the risk you're taking.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
You know
why
what I mean?
can't there
All
be
day.
choice?
If
But it's
I'm
what
drinking a
Ashley's
beer,
saying.
I know the risk I'm taking. I know what I'm doing to
Well,
my
you're
liver.
not going to get pregnant, I'll tell you that.
But like, give us the choice. This mandatory thing on something that that has now turned out to be completely lied about as far as the numbers and the death toll is concerned.
Yeah.
We've been completely lied about how you can contract it, because first it was don't touch anything, then it was you can't get it that way. Then it was like, well, you can't get it this way either. Now I'm reading, well, the asymptomatic people also can't spread it. So
Yeah.
now it's literally what I have to make out with somebody pretty much to fucking get this thing.
I'm pretty sure you have to make out with them, suck their dick, and then make out with them again.
Yeah.
And then there's a possibility that if you spit on
You
him
know-
afterwards.
And even then,
you
Who
get
do we
it.
have on the line?
it's Big Josh.
Hey, Josh, what's going
But
on?
even then, most people aren't even going to the hospital for this thing.
No.
Like the only people that are very old.
Old or
not
have
a
their own
single
underlying
child has
conditions.
died from this thing.
That's
Not a-
not true.
Well, maybe
In the UK.
single
Hey,
one.
in the UK,
no,
there
I
was,
only
I
know
believe.
of this because a girlfriend of mine.
No, but
her,
hold
her
on.
sister works at the NICU in
Yes.
Texas.
No, but hold on. They are counting things that are unrelated.
It's not just COVID.
You tested positive for COVID,
Right.
but they've been killed from something else.
See, but
And it
that's-
turned out that like 99.6% of the cases that they marked COVID
Yeah.
weren't.
So, but this is also the thing too. Since there's such little data on it, how
Mm-hmm.
can you say, yes, these other things happened and occurred, but how do you know for sure they didn't come from COVID? Do you know what I
don't
mean?
know. You don't know,
just
but it's
don't know.
you
There's
don't know.
not
but,
enough
but,
data
but
on
pushing the fact that God forbid you get this, then you're dead. And pushing it to the point where people bought every fucking roll of toilet paper they could.
Oh my God,
You
the
know,
fucking
pushing
toilet
people
paper.
to the state of hysteria where they're thinking, if you look at me and your eye cocky could get into my eye, and then I'm getting it. It's fucking
Even if the
crazy.
number's right, ready? Check this out. Even if the number's right, and
It's
it
like
is,
less
eye
than
cocky.
and it is
1%.
I don't know how they- I call it eye
180,000,
cocky
right?
with my kids. Get the eye cocky.
It was in the ballpark of 180,000. That number's not right, and we all have learned that. But even if it was, every year 100,000 people die from alcohol-related deaths.
Oh,
Why are
yeah.
we not shutting down the alcohol
Oh,
companies?
yeah. But it's the same thing with smokers, drinkers,
exactly.
car accidents, heart attacks,
Exactly.
obesity.
So we're sitting here on a minuscule scale of people dying from this, and we've ruined the country over it.
Well, you're also
Yeah.
talking about things that they're making money off of this now.
Oh, hell
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Telling
the
me
thing.
nobody's
Hell yeah.
invested
There it is.
in the companies
Gates
that are
is in
making
that
That's what
shit.
it is.
Everyone, the second the wipes were running out, it was because the Lysol companies were using the same material to make masks
Yeah.
instead of the wipes.
That's what it is.
That's crazy.
so
Big
they were
Josh.
making money regardless.
Yeah.
What's up, brother?
What's going on?
I can't see you guys.
That's all right. We can hear you though.
Okay. Oh, nothing much. I was out yesterday in Duluth, Georgia on Labor Day.
Check the ear thing.
Okay. Okay. What else?
Hey, I was in Georgia yesterday.
You're this one here.
Try this.
No, I can hear.
Okay.
I can hear
It's
him.
one.
All right. What
only
were you
one
doing
way.
in Georgia?
My mom wanted to stop by this big, giant Korean grocery store in Duluth, Georgia, and we went inside, and there's like nobody wearing masks at all. It's like in Georgia, it's not mandatory. It's like 50-50. You can wear it or you don't wear it.
Were you wearing it?
Yep.
So you're a firm believer that COVID is a killer.
I give two shits less about it. It's just if I have to wear it, go inside a store. I'll just
But you
wear
didn't
it.
have to. So why'd you wear it?
Please tell me you don't wear it while you're walking outside.
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
don't wear it. I take it off when I leave the store. I
Mm.
do shits about it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
All right, Josh. So what else?
Yeah, and let's see.
I got to tell you, you're really derailing the show right
Yeah.
now.
Listen. I have like really crazy. I have crazy
okay, fine,
topics.
I'll leave.
We
Listen,
love you, buddy.
Josh.
You
We'll
know.
talk to you in a little bit.
All right. Bye, Josh.
No,
So, all right. So I want to jump right back into it because I also have now another thing. You know, we were saying that there was also you can get COVID by farting and like walking through someone's fart.
Excuse me?
Yeah. So there was this thing where they were saying like in store like lanes. So it's necessary because if somebody farted, you could actually walk through and inhale the virus. That's when I went, fuck you. I'm done. I'm done. I couldn't even think about it. Could you imagine?
I can't.
I crop dust everywhere. I hope I don't have COVID.
Or how much COVID you spread.
I spread COVID everywhere.
Everywhere.
No, obviously we don't have COVID. Let's go into something a little bit lighter because I found this story and I laughed, but then also I understood a little bit of the backlash that the woman got. So this wife finds out that her husband's having an affair with the neighbor. And instead of her, confronting it with him and like getting down and dirty just in the house, she posted flyers all over every telephone pole in their entire town but a picture of her, him, and their 3 children. And she wrote, he's a cheater, he left his family, he's a piece of shit, all this stuff. And she had this on every fucking telephone pole. Now, I understand when women get angry and scorned and you're like, you know what, motherfucker? I'm letting them know. However,
that's a dumb way to do it.
Why have your kid's picture on there?
Yeah,
why can't you just leave it to you?
I saw one where a wife was selling the truck of her husband that cheated
for like $1,
and she wrote on it, "My husband cheated, for sale, his truck, yada yada yada." I was like, you know what? That's pretty fucking funny.
No,
I'm just showing you guys
putting the kids up. Like, yeah, that's weird.
Having the whole family.
Like, just put a picture of him.
Yeah, right. Yes.
There's a much better way to go about this. I love petty McSchmetty. I am the pettiest motherfucker you will ever meet, especially with something like that.
Yeah.
However, I'm not going to drag children into it.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, he's going to be the one paying for it, not me.
I just feel like in this world today, putting a kid's picture on a telephone pole has probably not the best idea.
Kids didn't do anything wrong.
No, and it's embarrassing, I'm sure.
Your husband couldn't keep it in his pants, and that's fine. But
Captain Spaulding wrote that his company made mask wearing part of the uniform.
Are you kidding?
That's insane.
Yeah, but that's a lot of places, though. But you also have to understand, in New York, they're making it's the executive order. So if they want to operate, they need to have the masks
But
on.
like New York, you shouldn't decide everyone else's business. Like, here's the thing. Like, I know we went there, and I'm sorry for going back.
Go back. I love this.
I look at it and go, all right, do the thermometer test at your company, and if no one's got it, take your fucking mask off. We all don't have it. Why do we still have to wear a mask if no one has it?
It would be lovely if most companies didn't deal with the public as well, though.
Yeah, but I'm talking like my ex-company that I used to work in. We don't deal with the public, just the people that are there. But everyone there had to wear their fucking mask when they walked around.
And
it's like everyone was taking their temperatures when they walked in.
Right.
And everybody had a normal temperature. Nobody's showing signs of COVID. Why are we all wearing masks?
Listen, they're veiling it as it's a health crisis, and they're trying to protect people. And I respect that. If it wasn't so
bullshit,
clearly loaded,
yeah, it is.
And there's so many people making so much money off of this,
a
while
perfect
other people
example,
are getting
like
fucked.
to give like what this is. When Epstein killed himself, we were all supposed to buy that.
Yeah.
Okay? No one's buying Epstein killed himself. And nobody's buying this COVID shit, but everybody's still playing by the rules.
All right, but I have a question.
Go ahead.
No, he didn't kill himself, but do you think they have him chained up somewhere? Fucking torturing him to get information?
No, I think he's dead.
I don't think
he killed himself, though.
I think that they took that motherfucker and they set it up to be that way because
but I think they had everything
torturing him is better than jail.
They wanted or needed, so now he's just expendable
at
this point.
Giselle Maxine is really the problem.
And they got her safe though. She's safe.
Well, yeah, because she has dirt on everybody.
Yeah, she's safe for now.
Nobody's safe.
Oh, she's gone once everything goes down.
Yeah, but they have to find everything she has first. And if you're going to be that type of person, you have contingencies on contingencies on contingencies.
She's alive, so they can get all the shit she has.
I know, but you see those.
The second they get all that.
But you see though, the past they have been finding houses with children, right? Yeah. So there has to be something that they're getting from her. Like she's giving little at a time, but eventually they're all going down, and I can't wait.
For the rest of her natural life, she will give just enough to stay alive and comfortable.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
What
If
is
you
that,
don't
Maria?
have a life
It's
like
just
that.
a notification. Sorry.
All right, that's all right. I'm going to take this
we
off
don't know
then.
how to turn them
It
off.
goes right in my ear.
But back to the cheating thing. Yeah, why are you putting kids up there? Just put the husband and put him on blast.
It just, I felt, was a little inappropriate, not only just with the times, but because now your children and their friends and school and bullying, your dad's a loser. Like, could you imagine now what she just did? So there was a whole bunch of people actually ripping her apart under her post, and because she had posted it as well. And then others were walking around taking them down because they were like, this is ridiculous. But I guess my point of view would have been, there's nothing wrong with lashing out, but I don't think any children should have been involved. So I wanted to...
There definitely shouldn't have been children involved
wanted to
in that.
go to that situation.
Are you moving
I
on?
want to do just that other one I showed you. I have the video of so an undercover cop went online and was trying to get people to sell him weed because he wanted to arrest them, like set them up. So this undercover cop called, I hit up this guy, and the guy goes, I'm videotaping this because I want you to see how fucked up they are. They're like looking for people to come out and meet with them. He recorded the entire thing, and he handed the police off, the cop. He goes, are you a cop? And he goes, I'm not a cop, which, let me stop right there.
Is entrapment.
He's a detective. He's an
If someone
undercover
asks, you have to tell
detective.
them, yeah.
So, but he goes, you're a cop. He's like, I'm not a fucking cop. He goes, you are a cop. Do you know? And he said this guy's name, which was his. He's like, I know you're an undercover cop. I looked you up. Here's your flowers. Here's your weed. And inside was actually flowers. And he went and got in his car. And then all of a sudden, whoop, whoop, DT cars pull up and they're like, get out of the car, hands up. And he was like, I gave him flowers. Like, then the camera shuts off. But I thought it was crazy. I have the video. I'll post it on my Twitter so everybody can watch. I thought it was crazy, though. Isn't that kind of like looking? I obviously, they're looking for drug dealers, but to try to get someone to meet you, isn't that setting someone up? You can't do that,
also,
can you?
Why are we bothering with the weed dealers? Those
Yes.
aren't the people that their customers are dying.
Oh, no, of
Nobody's
course.
ODing from smoking a joint.
No, of course. But and that is another thing.
I'd have
too.
a little more respect if they were looking for
What
like
are
the
they
heroin
wasting their
dealers.
time doing that for?
Yeah, so you're gonna get some 16-year-old kid that's selling dime bags.
Devious Dave just sent these in.
Oh, that's his dead body?
The up top is the dead body that we got the image of when they remember that
That's
image.
not. Does it look like his face?
No, that's what they're pointing out. Look at the difference in the ear, the lobe.
Yes, you're right. It's not. I'm telling you.
Now with this earlobe shot, here's my only.
Can they see this or just us?
Just us. Now
Oh.
with this earlobe shot, my only thing with this is he did hang. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe it fucked with the ear or like the bloating of a dead
Right.
person.
Oh, I
you know,
see.
like that one. But this one, the nose is very clearly different.
Yeah, the eye
The nose is
sockets.
very clearly
Even if his
different.
eyes are closed, they wouldn't
Yeah.
look like that top eye.
We're talking about Jeffrey Epstein, just to give everyone.
Yeah,
an
I
idea.
see. I just feel like they took his face shape looks different. I feel like they took him, and he is somewhere giving them information, but they got that motherfucker tied up because he didn't want to speak.
So him and Biggie are living on a Caribbean island.
No, he's not living on an island. Trust me, that motherfucker is
No,
in pain right
Biggie's
now.
definitely dead because if people could be making money off of Biggie, they would be. He's dead. Tupac, on the other hand, I don't know. That one's a little sketchy.
He's definitely. We have sightings. You've had sightings, remember?
Yeah.
Because Elvis is still alive too.
No, Elvis.
Just so we're
He'd
all
be
clear.
dead now anyway because he died a long time ago, didn't he?
Who, Elvis?
Yeah.
Oh, at this point, he would have been, what, 80 or something? His
It's
birthday
not
just passed.
exactly unheard of. Someone living to 80.
But
That's
Elvis,
true.
Maybe
was,
with his
Elvis was
lifestyle.
such a whore that he wouldn't have been able to
Oh
hide this
my
long.
God.
He wouldn't have.
And he wasn't he in the service too, right?
Yeah. But look at all the movies he made. He loved being in the limelight. Like that Elvis
He was
thing.
passed around like a little puppy,
Yeah,
wasn't he?
I think people just was hoping he would still be
Speaking of
alive.
puppies, didn't you have something to share?
Yeah, we've spoken about it on Super Ugly, but I wanted to bring this up because I love getting the ladies' perspective of these things. There's a video going around of Joe Buddens. Go to my Twitter, RockySUS11, and he's jerking off a dog during the podcast, and he's like, "Man, why is it I'm always, playing with animals and jerking them off and
Giving
basically
them pleasure.
Yeah, giving them pleasure, and everyone else is like, "What the?" And the guy grabs his dog. He's like, "Give me my dog back!" And he's like, "Man, doesn't everybody do that?" And everyone's like, "No, we don't. What the
He
fuck?"
literally
Nobody
had this
does.
dog in his hand. He was jerking the dog off, and I looked at the video, and I have never touched my cats.
Yeah,
in any type of pleasing
he's like,
my
doesn't
animals
everybody
is
do
not
this with their
on the
pets?
agenda.
Hard pass.
And like you look at that and you go, no, that's a fucking crazy thing.
So then
to
you also
assume.
have to wonder, though, where did he learn that that's normal?
Maybe I think he gets off with, he probably had his dog lick his balls and shit, and he probably felt he had to reciprocate, I guess, maybe, or who the hell knows, but like, that is not
That is
normal
just-
behavior.
Is that considered bestiality?
Yes.
So
Yes.
Is that against the law?
Move in a little bit, baby.
Is that against the law?
I think
it depends on the
penetration
state.
is the law. I think when you're penetrating, I think doing that, I don't know if there's a law against that. I think it's once you penetrate an animal. I think that's where the line's crossed.
Right.
Because, people do that for artificial insemination.
Yeah.
They'll jerk off a horse or whatever, or, stuff like that. But
But there's no penetration
One hand or
involved in
two for a
that.
horse?
hey,
They
yeah.
actually have a device for that.
Now they have
Oh.
like this fake vagina thing they
Yeah,
use.
they
for-
basically
yeah.
trick when it comes to the horse insemination. They have a mare there,
Yeah.
and they get the male to
And when he's
mount
about to
it,
mount, they switch
and
it
then
out.
they switch it out.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
still appears that it's actually.
oh my
getting-
God! They
Yeah.
tricked the poor horsey.
They
But-
do,
but-
but they make a lot of money off that sperm.
Yeah.
And then his
for the
divorce papers
thoroughbreds.
too. His wife put in like, I guess when she maybe wanted the dog or whatever, she was like, no, he fucking jerks off the dogs and says, like they need this, and like that's a fucking crazy.
Listen, they can lick their own balls. I'm sure they can get what they want and what
Yeah,
they need.
yeah. I mean,
or
seriously.
just
They
buy
don't
a
need
female
help.
dog.
Yeah, get it a
and let it
friend.
fuck a female dog. Like, why are you jerking off your
I
dog?
can't. To me, I just look at that. I'm like, I would never look at my animal and be, "Do you need release? You want me to release you?" That's really disgusting.
It's really disgusting. And then the other thing I wanted to bring up was Odell Beckham Jr. was trending today. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Let's see what's, usually when a athlete or a celebrity is trending, it's 9 out of 10 times not a good thing.
Yeah, it's generally pretty bad at this point.
So I look, and he likes to get shit on and have girls send him videos of them shitting.
Now, you didn't pay someone enough.
As
This
a,
is getting out.
as a
I'm just
guy,
saying.
I'm like, me and Richie I said it to Richie. I go, the smell alone is immediate. Like, no, we're done here.
Yeah,
Like-
that would be my first. Like, what about that scent?
Like, that's
of-
just the first part. Like,
Yeah.
the shitting itself, obviously, gross. But the smell, initially, I'd
during
be like,
sex. You would
alone.
immediately lose your heart on. Like,
Yeah.
that's what.
But it seems like it's the opposite for him then.
no, he gets off
No,
on this,
meaning, yeah, like,
apparently.
he likes
Again, this
it.
is allegedly, we're not, this is some
Allegedly.
whore that
I wasn't
said it
there.
on
I
some
didn't see it
podcast.
happen for myself.
So then
Yeah.
hypothetically, anyone that's into
Scat
scat, I guess it's considered shiza, whatever.
What's that?
Scat is like a specific, like, shit fetish
It's
type
a fetish.
thing. Yeah.
That's what they consider it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyone that's involved in that, they must like the smell, the sensation, the act of it. Like, listen, everyone can like what they want.
No, of course.
As long as
I
nobody's
just
getting
I
hurt
can't
and it's
pick my
all
jaw.
consensual.
I'm
Yeah.
a little
but
bit.
for me, I want to vomit.
But to grasp the concept of being turned on by that as a normal human being, like, again, dude, what you do behind closed
Right.
doors is your business.
Not my business,
But now
yeah.
this is public domain, so
Yeah.
now we can discuss it.
Having an opinion is
But
important.
you think of that, like even the pissing thing. Like I said to Rich, I go, there should only be 2 body fluids: pussy juice and cum. That's it.
and
sweat.
and spit.
Yeah, sweat,
You know,
spit,
always
perspiration.
Like
Lube is for pussies. You know, always spit.
shit is never a thing where I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'd like
No.
her to shit on me.
Now, let me tell you something. Now, when you're dealing with something like that, the infections that a girl can get if shit was to get inside of her pussy is unreal.
No, but
Actually,
I don't think
but
it's shit on my dick and fuck her. I think he just
likes
wants to be
it
shitted
on
on.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what if then they want to fuck and it gets? I'm just saying though, for women,
But
it is
then-
very dangerous
Yeah,
for
of
But
women
then,
to get
course.
shit in
depending
there.
on the area the shit is happening.
Yeah, typically
like,
what I've heard, it's
This is very technical. I don't know what the
I am
particulars
beyond
are.
words.
typically Jim Norton. I've listened to a lot of Opie and Anthony, and he, from what I've heard of him say, like to get shit on sometimes, and typically it's in the chest area. It's not, and then it's like clean it up type thing. I don't understand how that's sexy. I don't understand why that's a turn on. I never will.
Do you think it's just they get everything else they can possibly want?
Yeah, why don't I watch
It's
girl
like,
shit?
what else can I get? What else can I
But
do?
how is-
like,
like,
but
how
that's
is
like
that
people
sexy?
that get addicted to, like, we'll call it regular sex, and then they need more. They need something different. They need to be choked. They need to
Yeah.
be hit. They need to stomp on your balls. Like, it's the next level. Like, oh, well, this is boring. He's Odell Beckham Jr.
But we've
He
all
can get
seen
any bitch he wants.
2 Girls, 1 Cup, correct?
I have refused to watch it.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
To this day, will never ever.
It's
watch
actually
it.
the most disgusting. Rocky
I
made
won't
me
do
one
it.
time.
I won't do
Disgusting.
it.
Well, we did it
I
on the
won't do
show
it.
I did
for
a brief-
reactions.
I did
Wasn't
a
Nicole
brief-
watching it too?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did a brief like,
I will
oh my
not.
God. And so, for me, again, I right away go to this. What kind of infections will you get in your mouth for eating shit?
Ugh.
Like, shit is everything that's not supposed to be inside
That's
your
why
body.
it's releasing out. Yeah.
So let's put it in our mouth. These 2 fucking
That's
broads
so
did.
gross.
To each his own. Do what you want. I just feel like at that point, maybe you need to just find a different hobby. I mean, remember when my brother showed you the girl farting on the cake?
Yeah,
And I'm like, that is not funny. This girl sat on a cake and farted, and the cake went poof, and you see her asshole open, and you see cake, and I'm like, that is disgusting. And now that bitch has to think about, well, that's sugar. There's infections she's gonna get. And my brother looks at me and he's like, infections? I'm like, yes. You have to think of the infections.
gross.
Disgusting. What you're putting in and out of your body. You have to be careful.
Listen,
Right.
I've done some weird stuff. However,
Definitely not shit on
the
anybody.
line is the shit and piss.
Yeah, that's
Like,
definitely something I like.
that's a hard pass.
I hate even having to deal with it as a person. I've been wiping my daughter's ass for 5 years. Okay, I'm tired of wiping ass, but I have to say that when it comes to sex, even sometimes I'm not ready to be dirty. I just want you to get on top of me and have sex. Like, it doesn't have to be so dirty. No dirtiness.
I think some people just hit that level that it just doesn't do it for them anymore.
Well, I did
and they
say
want
that.
extreme.
Yeah, I did say that as well. I was like, really rich people, they get thrills and they have the money to get every thrill they want, and eventually you've done everything.
Well,
so
'cause
it's like,
then-
well, what else can I get a
What
thrill
else
out
can I
of?
buy?
Yeah, well,
Pretty much.
what else can thrill me? What else can I get a rush from? And
Because
you know,
any
like
bitch will suck his dick.
like
I'm
at
sure.
hedonism, there's a lot of rich people that go to hedonism, right?
Yeah.
Because it's an exhilarating thing. Now if you're a voyeur, you're being watched, or you're around all these naked people. It's something that's different from the norm. So that's the appeal, But the shitting thing, I can't wrap my head around it. I can't.
I remember hearing Artie Lang talk about a blumpkin
Yes,
years ago.
Yes.
And that's right there with it.
What's a blumpkin?
It's when you get a blowjob while you're taking a shit.
Yeah.
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 Well, there's also
So, I mean, you're not that
there's
far off
the
at
Alabama
point.
hot pocket where you shit into a condom and then you put it in the girl.
See, infection central right
oh
there,
my
by
God,
the way.
that is a lot of
Yeah.
infection. That's like a shower curtain touch.
That's
Yeah.
that's
how
beyond the
Steve-
Like
shower
one time
That's
we were
how
playing
Stevie-
we were playing the gross out game as guys, and I said, I was like, a girl spreads her legs and you shit in a pussy.
Oh,
Like, but that's actually a
man.
thing that people do. At the time, I didn't know it, but then my
Well, there's a
podcast and
fetish
radio
for
listening.
everything.
Eventually, someone brought, and there's a name for it. Also, I forget the name, but I think that's actually the Alabama hot pocket. I think the other thing, there's another name for the condom. Like you freeze the shit and then, but either
I
way,
can't.
like
I
God.
can't.
like that's like the shit does not belong in sex. It just
No.
doesn't.
I think that at a point, fetishes are fetishes.
I gotta get a beer.
I understand that. I just feel like I guess there doesn't have to be a line as long as you're not hurting anybody.
long as
There's
everyone's
agreeing
consenting
participants.
to
Yeah,
it.
not like the girl's laying there and he fucking ties her legs open and shits inside of her. I can't even think. That's just to me. There are even some times though. Like when you think about somebody wears something, you're like, I could never fucking wear that.
Right.
I would wear that before I would do that.
Well, but that's a lot of it too, because there are some things that people look at, even what may be mundane. Like some people like getting choked during sex. Some people look at that and go, "Oh no, I could never." Missionary Monday for life.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's all they do. Whereas I would look at it and go, "Oh, that's all."
See, I'm
That's
not
all
into
that's
the
happening?
choking. However, when he is ready to finish, he will rest his hand, and it's just the feeling of, oh my God, But I have a thing with that, and my hair being really pulled.
Yeah.
I don't like it. But besides that, I'm open. Whatever he wants, I do whatever
As long
he
as
wants.
there's no
I
shit.
have a
As long as
question.
there's no shitting.
And you were saying this just before. You're a giant. Okay.
I am a giant. I'm
Now,
almost 6 feet tall.
As a giant woman, do you require a giant cock?
No,
No.
I require an adequate cock.
Okay.
Does that,
What's
does that
adequate?
make sense?
Yeah,
Are
what's
you girth
adequate,
or
though?
length?
I am girth. However,
Always
I have
girth.
been with some pointless big dicks. that think just having a big dick
is all they need.
That's all they need. And this one dude, I just dried up like the Sahara because it was like a porn star dick. And he just didn't know what to do with it, and it was the saddest day of my life.
I was curious.
Saddest
That
day
just
of my
popped in my
life.
head because like
I don't have a giant vagina.
No,
just so we're clear,
obviously.
guys. Just
I'm
so
not
we're
saying that,
clear.
but I'm just curious because like I don't know if that's like on scale. Like obviously I don't know if a little girl requires a little. You know what I mean? Like I'm just curious.
No.
Vaginas,
adequate.
I think, on the inside are pretty much very similar. Of course, people are looser and tighter and flabby or not flabby or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that it has to do a lot with your own preference, because I also had seen someone and I was like, yeah, right. He was very crooked. I mean, like a fucking candy cane.
Was it the wrong way?
I don't even know what the right way is. But
There
as soon
is
as I
a
saw
right
it was
way.
crooked,
There is
I
a
went,
right
I
way.
don't want to. I'm sorry. And I was just like, I can't do that. I'm sorry.
I would think the right way would be the opposite candy cane. This way, when it comes out, it's kind of rubbing
it
that area as well.
Way you're facing and turning.
Yeah, but, like,
and what
think of it.
position we're
Listen to
talking.
me,
You
okay?
can make it work.
It
I'm
was
just saying, if
but
you're
I
committed
looked
enough.
at. Now, I was never really into men like that. I was like, oh, cock. I was not like that. But when I was with someone, I wouldn't say just do it because I was in the position. I had walked out twice. The first time I laughed because that one wasn't circumcised, and I never saw one before. And when he took it out, I was like, "What is that?" And he literally was like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Where's the head?" Like, what? And he just
You
was
have
so
to open it
embarrassed.
like a present.
No fucking
Yes.
way. No fucking way.
Can I tell you, uncircumcised
No way!
penises are a lot of fun.
Mm.
No, really?
Blech.
It's a thing.
No.
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 I'm out on this
alone.
convo.
You
So
are.
I'm out on this
Beautiful cock.
convo.
So
I don't
you
know.
are beautiful. He's got
Yeah.
a beautiful cock. But I just, and that again, one night I'm out, other night I'm out.
Mad throat
whatever.
yuck.
I look and I go, I'm sorry, but I can't do this. And the guy that was crooked, let me tell you, it was scary. I was like this, dude. I
Matt,
was
is that
afraid.
yuck on the uncircumcised or the
afraid of
crooked?
it?
I was afraid because I'm going, look how much that would open up in there.
Listen, I'm telling you, it's all about the angle.
Yeah, so what, he's going to turn and then turn back in straight?
No, you have to
What
have
the
control
fuck?
in that scenario.
So you got to, what if it hooked? What if it grabbed something in there and pulled it out?
grabbing now?
Madalena also says yuck to the uncircumcised.
Yes, gross. No.
You guys are very, I'm just saying, just try it.
Well, she's not going to try it.
Try
No.
anything now.
Okay,
Yes.
fine. I'll do the
Madalena,
legwork
go
on
nuts.
this,
All right,
You
guys.
do the legwork,
I'll do the
homework. You
legwork.
set your homework. I want to know what it feels like to be with a guy who's got a hook.
See, but also if a guy knows how to fuck, you know the right way to fuck, that you're hitting the right spot.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, if you're talking straight up candy cane, that's a whole different story.
It was
it's
like
not even going in
like
at that
this.
point.
It was bent. The head was on
See,
the fucking
then you have
side.
to,
like
like-
maybe he broke his dick.
Like,
That's what it looked like.
that's
Broken.
like-
let me help fellas out right now who don't know how to fuck. Straight in, not the way you want to go. You want to have a slight angle as you go in, so you hit the clit
can't
as
even
well
fucking-
as you go in. But right or wrong.
You know what? I like that. I also like when you go tight, you move your hip a tiny to the side.
Yeah,
You know,
but
because you go a little
but like
sideways.
if you're just going straight in, you're not hitting their G spot.
No, you're
You
not.
know what I mean? Like
No.
you have to kind of angle it in.
Well,
and-
like if the girl's on the bottom and she has a
That's
a
what I
small
mean, for
pillow
missionary,
underneath
I'm
her.
saying, yeah.
if she's got a small pillow underneath her that jacks her up a little bit, you hit the spot without even trying. But I'm an on-top girl. I love doing work, and I also love being bent over. So we just we hit every spot every time.
Right.
But have you ever seen any vagina that you were like, no,
I saw one that was very lippy.
very
lippy, and it
Like
was
roast
gross.
beef?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like it
that's
was hanging. Like I was like, oh, no, and then I pretended like I gotta go.
Yeah.
I ran out. I was like,
Really tired
no,
after
that's
shampoo my
not.
hair. Yeah.
That's
But
not appealing.
You know what though? There's
Clip
a lot
that.
of tricks to find out before you go down there and do anything. And I didn't have any tricks. And when it just, and I have to be honest, I'm not gonna just fuck because we're here.
Yeah, no.
like I want to be into it. And now you ruined it.
Like I bailed on a few smelly ones too.
Yeah?
Where like it came out and you can immediately.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What the fuck? I smell it from here. You cannot tell me you don't smell that.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you
See, that's
enter
lazy.
this with that fucking stank?"
That's lazy. But you know what? Some dudes are real lazy about it too. I'm telling you.
I haven't had many dudes on my number, but the ones that I have had, it needed to be pristine. I'm sorry, I cannot do it. And you want me to be pristine? It needs to be.
It has to be both ways at
and
that
how
point.
are you going to go out with a stinky pussy?
How are you going to go out with some sweaty ass balls and demand for them to be in your mouth?
Oh, no. His balls are the only balls I've ever had in my mouth. And I'm telling you right now, his dick is the only dick that I'll suck on a regular just because he looks at me. I love it that much. Maybe when I was younger with Anna's father, I was with him 4 years, but I have never been like, yeah. I never. He just has a beautiful dick. I mean, I'm sorry I'm telling the world, but they need to know about it.
I mean, I don't think that's something for him to complain about.
No, not at all. And
It's
because
gorgeous.
you're part of this.
It's gorgeous.
Because you're part of this trisome.
It is.
A trisome?
There's no weird bumps. There's no weird
No.
crooks.
It's a great color. It's the same color from the head to dick, and that was a big thing. You ever seen a man with half a color dick?
Hello. It scared me.
Yeah, that's gross.
I didn't know. I was like, is there something wrong?
Because if
It
it's red,
seems
I'm
disease.
fucking
It
out.
seems like
Yeah.
there's something wrong with it. And I
Yeah.
had to be coached through. And he's like, no, it's just how it is. And I went, but all the other ones I've seen were all one color.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
sometimes,
maybe
sometimes
like
the head will be a little
gradient.
redder because of the blood
Circumcision.
going
Yeah,
in.
there's like a
And
gradient
circumcision
Yeah.
too can give you a line.
Yeah.
But no, we had a guy send me a dick pic, right, babe?
Yeah.
The top part of it, like this, was red and fucking. It looked like, and the white bottom part was white. And I'm like, what did you do? Fucking burn your dick? Like it was disgusting. And I'm like, you gotta see a doctor.
Yeah.
See a doctor.
I feel bad for those guys. Like,
Of course, I'm not making fun. I'm just saying
I'm
it's
very
a different
blessed.
fucking view, man.
I'm very blessed that down there is normal. But like, yeah, you see things and you're like, oh, that sucks for you. Like, that's not good because no girl's gonna be like, hey, I want all of that, and like they're
All
gonna
the
look at that and be
I
like,
want all
oh.
of the things.
Like you now have to find a specific girl to enjoy that. Like that's not a good thing.
Or pay for it. Either way.
Yeah, or pay for it.
Maybe he paid for it, and that's why it looked like
See,
that.
that's why condoms, I guess, are good because you can cover it up.
Yeah.
But-
Get it on before they see it.
But condoms suck. We all know that.
Well, crooked you
they're
can't hide.
awful.
No,
Crooked you
cannot
can't hide.
And
No,
circumcised either, because that shit has mushy.
I'm telling
You
you
see,
guys.
it looks like a mush fucking.
You know what? I had my first uncircumcised penis this year, and let me tell you.
This year, okay.
No. Like in general in life.
Yeah.
Because I came out of a 5+ year relationship,
Yeah.
so I've been seeing what's out there, and let me tell you, very satisfying.
But what's the benefit?
So the benefit of it is, okay, so it's gonna get really weird.
Go.
Welcome.
That's
Weird.
unfiltered marriage.
I
Do
told
it.
you my husband's dick is beautiful.
I
Please
know,
speak.
I know. So, but here's the thing. So, when you're jerking a guy off, if there's not enough lube, you can't get the correct motion without feeling like there's too much friction, correct?
Right,
Yes.
With the uncircumcised, it's
It
like
is the
built
lube.
in.
I imagine that water thing. That you
That's
get, like-
what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
know what?
I mean, you still spit on it, obviously. However,
Well, because you're
if
not.
you have cotton mouth, you don't.
Because
have
with a circumcised dick, there's not a lot of give.
Correct.
Yes, I understand what
And
you're
if
saying.
you don't have the lubricant for it,
Yes.
that's just friction. And is that comfortable for
No,
any
it's
man?
not. No,
No.
dry
Well,
handy is
hovering-
not fun.
Correct.
I find dry handies, though, which we do in the very beginning of things because his dick isn't wet yet, as long as you're not gripping it and you're hovering.
Oh,
it's
if you do
very
it right,
pleasant.
yes.
No, 100%. But some guys, there's not a lot of give there.
Oh, I see what you said.
Oh, some of them are
guys,
really
there's
clipped.
a little more
Yeah.
give.
Yeah.
I get
And
what
then
you're
that's
saying.
fine. But when there's no give,
Yeah.
you're either putting lube on it, spitting on
See,
it.
it's a slippery slope with the circumcision because you cut too much and you have that
Correct.
situation.
And I've had
you
that,
cut
and
too
I'm
little,
like,
and now it's just weird. See again.
And then I have cotton mouth, and where's the spit? Now I have to pull out lube like a loser.
Yeah, no. See again. I'm very. I have a fine balance. I think.
You got snipped correctly.
Yeah, definitely did. Definitely did.
Thank
I
you,
love that
doctor.
I love that we're talking about my husband's dick on air because not a lot of women are secure enough to do that. And
Hope Gigi isn't listening.
exactly. I hope none of our parents are listening right now. But the truth of the matter is, like, this is what is out there, and there are some people that don't take care of themselves, and when they do take care of themselves, sometimes you're just born that way. I guess.
Baby, I was born this way.
Is it necessary? Is it necessary that if you are like that, to discuss it before you have sex, or you should just throw it on somebody?
No, because then you might get to. From a guy's point of view, there might be things that might stop you from getting the sex. So you're just going to throw the dice and take the gamble. A guy 9 out of 10 times most likely will not inform you of something like that.
I was not informed.
Yeah, no.
I was not informed. I was surprised. No, that's not true. First time I was informed. Second time I was not. But
Yeah.
since I wasn't informed the first time, I was prepared.
Yeah, but no,
She's
most
prepared.
guys aren't going to do or say things to stop them from getting sex.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah,
I
mean,
guess.
They'll
I
say
guess
whatever
so.
you think they think you want to hear.
Yeah,
I guess so.
yeah. Most guys aren't going to do that. Even if they're like diseased, I would think they'd probably still be like,
Out. No,
I
that's a
spent the whole
conversation
time
I
the show
always
going,
have.
how come I can't really see well? And
But
then I was
that's
like,
the
oh my
have your
God.
that goes
glasses
back
on.
to the old Patrice joke that safe sex is a girl's responsibility.
What?
Damn.
It's a girl's
Can I
responsibility.
tell you, it's a mood killer, but I will 100% stop
and
what's
I'm not
happening.
saying that because he goes, all right, he goes like this. He goes, girls, condoms, normal thing, right? Use a condom, use a condom, use a condom. Ever use a dental dam?
I used a female condom once.
Have
and
you
I
ever
was
used a dental dam?
uncomfortable.
Have you ever
But
used
no,
one?
No,
No.
dental dams.
No, exactly. So it's always on the guy to use a condom. But a guy will always go raw. If you don't say nothing,
Yeah, but
if you don't say nothing,
But-
I'm going to go raw.
But to be fair, also, it's a girl's responsibility not to get pregnant.
Yes,
Like,
but-
you
but
better
that's
be
his
on the
point.
pill. Oh, my fucking
That's
dad.
his point. And he's telling him, he goes, ladies, a guy will never offer up, oh, let me put a condom. Never. That is your responsibility to be like, hey, go get a condom. At that point, the guy will be like, oh, okay.
See why I didn't fuck dudes for a long time?
But,
Listen,
but,
no, that's not true. I have one guy that he will legitimately always go and grab a condom.
There's something
I don't
wrong with
have
his
to
dick.
say anything.
There's something wrong with his
no,
dick.
there's not.
Yes, there
There's
is.
not. I guarantee
have
it.
you seen it, Bear?
Yes, I have seen it
Okay.
there.
All right,
We've
fair
also
enough.
had sex without it, but he's the first one to reach for it. I've
And she's
never
like,
had
"No,
to
I don't
ask
need
him.
that."
But hold on.
like, "Take
hold
that
on.
shit off."
Wait a second. How long did that last?
What?
That he was like, let me get my condom.
No, he used the condom like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, then he is. You have a unicorn.
I do have a unicorn.
Yes, you have a
I have
unicorn.
a unicorn. He's a
Because
cool guy.
most guys will not offer up the condom. They will say,
Yeah.
they will go as far as they can to go, she still didn't say nothing.
Yeah.
She
Oh my
still
God.
didn't say
He's not
nothing.
wrong though.
You know,
He's not wrong.
Truth of the matter is, honestly, anytime I was with someone physically, I am a germaphobe, so that isn't necessary. However, I'm throwing myself under right now. I've never used one with Rocky.
Not once.
Even the first time.
Nope.
I have a dude that I've never
I don't know
ever,
what
ever
it was about this
should've.
motherfucker,
It's
but he made me
terrifying,
do
but-
things I never did before.
Yeah, we just had that sparky meet. Like the second we got into the hotel room, it was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
that's
it's
how it went
fucking
down.
on.
I have
It
one
is
of those
on.
too, but I just there's so much shame involved with that man.
Yeah,
That
I think it was also like this pride thing between both of us. Is like, oh yeah, motherfucker, I'm gonna show you, and she was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna show you.
The first night we had sex 6 times. 6.
that's a solid ass
6.
night.
Yeah.
And then from there, I mean, we are very, very physical people. We are just very, I love it. And it's great, but I never had that.
Yeah.
I have never been in a relationship where it's been a constant, once a week is normal. We are like 5-6 nights a week. And that's how we started 8 years ago.
I will stay
it's
single
so
for
crazy.
as long as you're sitting there telling me, oh, once a week. No, I'll just be single and have my friends.
A lot of
and that's
people are
it.
like that,
So
though.
once a week is a lot for most people.
Yes.
Once a week is a lot for most people. And now we're back into the settlers.
Yes,
discussion.
a friend
No,
of
I
ours,
hate that shit.
a friend of
Yeah.
ours came over a few months ago and was speaking with us, and it was said, oh yeah, of course, on like a holiday or whatever, every couple of weeks, I guess, or like Christmas, and I'm like, what?
I joke with people
just
about
got
it. but no.
married like 5 years
I
ago.
can't. I can't.
Ridiculous.
Like when you're like, I guess, like in your 50s and 60s, once a week.
And you put
once
20,
in a
30
while,
years in,
like then you're kind of
and
like,
your
all right,
hips
I can kind of
yes,
understand. Yeah,
yes. When you're tired, you're tired.
Listen,
but-
Yeah.
if you're no longer, I've had this conversation with a friend of mine, and it infuriates me because he actively cheats on his wife because he says, I love my wife, she's my
you
partner,
don't.
she's my best
No, you
friend,
don't.
but I need to get sex from outside the marriage. And I was like, then you don't love
Yes,
your wife.
exactly.
You have a best friend and you have a roommate.
I love
Yeah,
my wife.
because
I would never even think
the
about cheating on
second
her.
you need to leave your marriage, that's not a marriage.
Yeah, you're not in love.
That's a
No.
roommate.
Yeah, no.
You may love her as a person, but if you need to go get your dick wet,
Yeah, but
No.
and that, now you go back to the same thing. Why are you married if you're unsatisfied? And why is
Correct.
she holding sex
But
against you?
I was just gonna say that's also not all on him. What is
no,
she doing to
100%.
not
I've said it to
satisfy him? Yeah.
I've said it. I was like, he was drunk one night. I'm like, I don't understand. She couldn't find my dick if she tried. I'm like, you guys have been married
Damn,
for
how
like
small's his
2
dick?
years.
Yeah.
2 years you've been married. Why? Oh, well, we were going to get separated and whatever. And I was like, oh, because you started fucking another bitch. So now you're happy at home because you sneak out of the house in the middle of the night.
And she
get
probably
what
knows
you
it's
need.
happening, and she just turns
She
a blind
doesn't
eye
care.
to it.
She doesn't care
Exactly.
because he's still paying the bills and do whatever he needs
That's
to do.
Settlers.
a crazy way. I would
Settlers.
never. in
That's
my
another
life-
form of settlers.
He's trying to rationalize to me that that's what I need to do as well.
You know what though? If that's the life he's living, I blame her.
Yeah.
I blame
both
her.
of them.
No,
It is-
but I get why he's doing it because for his kids.
There are no kids.
Oh, there's no kids?
There's
Then no.
kids.
Yeah, there's
It's
no reason for them to be
bullshit.
together.
Just
yeah,
so
no,
you
no,
can
no.
say
I thought
you're
there was
married.
kids. Sorry.
No, he
No,
told me,
yeah.
he said, you need to find someone that'll take care of you, and if you need to find the sex somewhere else, that's fine. Nobody's happy 100% of the time. Nobody's ever getting everything they need from one person.
That's a
I
lie.
think that's
And
incredibly
I said,
crazy.
listen, to an extent, you have your girlfriends for a reason. You have your guy friends for a reason. However, as far as a marriage is concerned, you guys get everything from each other.
Yeah.
Right, or you're not be married.
You're not leaving the marriage for something that is marriage related.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't have a
Whereas
single
he's-
girl friend that is not her friend.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you're a friend of mine,
But
but
I'm
because of her.
Correct.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not
You're
going to
in
call.
my phone
I'm not
as
going to
Jessica's
go.
Rocky.
I'm not going to go
That's
hang out
it.
with Katie, just me
No.
and Katie. I'll hang out in this
I wouldn't
dynamic
even care.
gladly.
I wouldn't even care. Get it, babe.
But-
Get it.
And honestly, like I wouldn't hate hanging out with her. But what I mean is like that's just not something you do as a happily married man.
No,
No.
my best friend, her dude, we've always had this. My ex, she never considered him a friend. That's my best friend's dude.
Yeah.
Her dude, as close as we are, as much as we all hang out, that's her dude.
Yeah.
See that now my husband and I went to the same school together. So I'd say 90% of his friends, with one or two that maybe aren't, but 90% of his friends are my friends too. I mean, we used to hang out at the same houses. And
Right.
so we have the same friends. However, his friends won't go, hey, Sal, hey, Jess, I'm coming over to hang out. He'll hit up Rocky. Or you go, hey,
Yeah.
Jess,
Right.
you know, you have a little bit of a respect.
Like the
Correct.
I don't
second
have
we
men
got
texting
together,
me, you know what
like,
I mean?
I
You don't
had-
have women texting him.
Exactly. The second we got together,
Except for your group
like,
chat.
I had friends that were girls.
Right.
The second this became a real thing, you're done. We can't be friends anymore.
Right.
Why? She doesn't feel comfortable with that, and I don't blame her.
Right.
Because there is a potential of something might happen, something might slip up. There
You're
might
happy somebody
there-
wants what you have.
but there might be a moment where
there-
you're enticed or whatever the case. And I'm not going to put her in that
Right.
position. So for me, it's all of you are now cut out of my life. Sorry.
So,
Unless we're cool.
but to be clear,
But even then, like, I'm not going to text, like, Nicole Messina. Great
love
friend of
that
mine.
bitch.
I
I'm
love
into
her
it.
too.
And
She's
Jessie
one of
too.
my
I'm
great
into
friends.
it.
But I'm not now going to still carry on a friendship relationship like that
No,
because
what-
I just don't think it's appropriate.
Right. Well, talking though, like on a level.
But
Like
when we
Jessie-
go out, when we saw
talking
Nicole-
and socializing, I'm into it.
Like
But
when we
even
saw
those
Nicole and
girls-
Jesse, when
Yeah.
last time we saw them, you saw the way we were interacting.
I
like,
love it.
like we didn't skip a beat because we were really
Right.
good friends.
But what I can say that I learned, the biggest thing I learned from my last relationship, and it's 100% true, and I will stand by this until the day I die. The second you go to that friend of the opposite sex, so for me, if I went to a dude and start complaining about
Yeah,
my dude,
no good.
that's a problem.
Yeah.
The
That's also cheating.
The
I'm
second
sorry.
your
That's
husband,
cheating
whatever,
That's no good.
goes to their opposite sex friend and complains about the partner,
Like I can go to
that's a
Richie all day
problem.
long and be like, "Fucking Jess
But
is
that's
getting on my ass
different.
about this."
You'll never come to
Yeah,
me and say
no.
that
So
shit.
check this
No.
out. This is a great scenario quick because we're going to be going after this. But I was friends with, I'll just say T, and you know who I'm talking about. This boy T. Before you, I was friends with this boy T. He came and worked.
Oh,
with-
yes, yes, yes.
So I was friends with this boy T. And he was younger, you know, cool, a friend of mine. We went to raves together.
Legitimate, just friends.
Just
though.
my
Yeah.
friend. Everything was cool. And when I started dating Rocky, I immediately introduced him to T because I'm like, this is my friend. We only hang out. We play pool. He's my friend. And my husband and boyfriend at the time, of course, trusted me. So then all of a sudden, they became friends. And then he got him a job with him. And then you're talking about 8 years now. He will call him before he'll call me.
He never calls her
Even though
anymore.
T was
Because
my
Yeah.
boy.
It evolved
Yes.
naturally.
Yes.
But
And-
he
but-
also
but
understands the dynamic
that's
of
part of the
it's inappropriate for me
responsibility.
to be calling her,
Right.
You know, because now, like as a guy, naturally, I'm like, what the fuck's he saying? What the
Right.
fuck? Like he doesn't do that, and he understands that.
As- out of
this wasn't like a
respect.
spoken
Respectful.
thing.
Yeah.
Yes, this wasn't like a spoken, discussed thing.
Right.
He just went, Rocky's my boy, so now I call Rocky to
Right.
see what's going on.
That makes
Absolutely.
sense. It evolved naturally. It's respectful. It's not being shitty.
Yes.
It's not like you have to sit down and have this conversation and be like, listen, now that we're
See, but
getting
most
married-
guys wouldn't have done that. Most
No.
guys are shitty, and they would have tried to be behind
Oh,
my back and tried to
I-
probably fuck her 9 out of 10
I have
times.
Yeah.
a dude in my life that literally told me, as long as we're hanging out and fucking whatever it is, that's cool. He's like, if you meet someone, that's fine. and I quote, I want to meet him, and if I don't think you're happy, I'm definitely going to still try to get with you. And I yelled at him.
You can't.
But you know what, though? I respect the
Respect
honesty
for the
of it.
respect the
Perfect.
honesty.
Straightforward, and I'm like,
Yeah.
solid.
You know, in the end, when it comes to this kind of stuff in relationships and marriage, again, we're married 4 years, we're together for 8. If there's a problem, I will tell Rocky. I will talk sometimes with my friends or my mom, but I will
You'll
tell my
vent.
husband because we have to work on it. And I just put up a quote today, and we'll leave it at this. Devious Dave had posted something about an old couple and a reporter asking them, how did you make it married 64 years? And the woman replied, we grew up in a time where when something broke, you fixed it. We didn't throw it away. And that is one thing I know about my husband, that, you know, even if there was a moment that we did not want to be together, which would not happen, but if there was, I know he would tell me to my face.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows I will tell him to his face, like, this just isn't working, because my happiness, his happiness is what's most important.
Right.
So if you're not happy, when it doesn't feel good anymore, don't do it, because you're the only one that controls your happiness. And I'm going to leave it at that, guys. I had a really good show tonight. I love that you came. You're welcome to stay for another lemonade if you want. I know you have work, but we'll see. Hey! And guys, I hope to see you back next week. Don't forget to...
Go to russosbrand.com, subscribe. It's only $3.95 a month. You get over 14 brand new shows. Also, go to obradio.com, subscribe, and tell them Super Ugly sent you. Unfiltered Marriage. Go to statementgames.com right now and go check out the prop bets. They got football starting this Sunday, and I know all you idiots love football, so you can do prop bets and you can win real prizes.
So abusive.
Cash, gift cards, and yada, yada, yada.
Statement Games. I got it on right now.
There you go. Boom. We love Statement Games. We got to get Mark back in here. It's been forever. What else? Am I forgetting anything? I don't think so.
No, I think that's everything.
All right. We'll see you guys.